Hi, that's Ted James.
And this is Adriana James.
And this is our second video of the year.
The first inspiration we'd like to offer you in 2010 is to take the lessons that you got in 2009. The good ones you're grateful for, but also the learnings that were offered to you in the challenging moments, and turn them into great opportunities now.
Mentally, emotionally, but also in real life results. This is the best time to decide what is my life going to be in 2010 and beyond. Am I going to repeat my old mistakes? Am I going to repeat my old patterns? Am I going to continue the same way I did before?
Or am I going to change what I don't like and get it done and get it over with and move on to something else so I can proceed with my new eyes and renewed optimism and inner power? How could my life be if I made it on my terms? How would that be if I made it on my terms, my conditions, instead of letting others decide for me? What action do I need to take to make it happen? Decide and then do it. Don't just sit around and talk about it. It may make you feel better to talk about it.
Sure.
You'll feel better while you talk about the possibilities you have. But if you don't take action to do it, you'll end up in the same place you were before.
Absolutely. So what is it that holds you back? What is it that holds you back from proceeding in this new way of yours? Ask yourself, you know the answer. Nobody else knows. You inside, deep inside you, you do know that answer. What holds you back? What prevents you? Find out. It's a great moment now.
It's the beginning of a new year.
Yes.
It's a new beginning.
It's an opportunity. Unconsciously, you feel it's a beginning. Make the most out of it. Unconsciously, you are feeling this as a new phase in your life.
Decide what that is and begin to make that happen, because in an instant your life could change. Many times we tend to take things for granted, but our lives could end up in an instant,
just
and
like
we could
this.
they could turn miraculously better. Most people want life to be easy, but they don't want to have to work for it. But think about it. Do you really want your life to be easier, or do you want your life to be better?
Now, think of it. So, if your life would be the same way it is now, but easier, or if your life would be much better, which one would you choose? And the truth is that all successful people in the world have chosen a better life versus an easier life. You know, I heard somewhere this saying that knowledge is power. And I said, yeah, well, I heard that before. I can relate to that. Yeah, it's almost like a cliche, knowledge is power, knowledge is power. Yeah, knowledge is power. But you know what? Based on real experience of life that I had, I can't speak for you. I can't even speak for Dad, because I am not inside his body. I don't know his life experience experientially, yeah? But I know mine. And I know the more I changed from inside, the more the whole life has changed for me. The moment I acquired more knowledge about me, about how this box up here and what's inside, how it works, how it functions, how it produces the thoughts it does. What's the difference between thoughts and behaviors and feelings that support me and those that seem to appear out of nowhere and disempower me. When I learned how to do that, and especially I learned how to change what prevented me or what disempowers me, that was the greatest thing, that was the greatest knowledge I could ever have. But you see, what's not immediately obvious is that lack of knowledge means lack of power. The same way knowledge means power, lack of knowledge means lack of power. We hear all the time, I've been sabotaging myself, don't we?
Yeah.
In the classroom?
I was so close to being successful in my new business effort, they say. Or I was going through restoring and creating this new relationship, or getting my health better, and just before I succeeded, I stopped myself again.
Oh, you have no idea how many times we hear this. I've been sabotaging myself all the time. I didn't complete it successfully. Yeah, and so we know that knowledge is power, because only after we understand all this and we know all this, and only when you figure out what's inside you and how you function and know how to change that, that's what will give you the most power possible.
When you change what's inside you, you can change what's outside you. The truth is, if you change and you choose and decide to learn what you need to learn, make a change, decide to learn what you need to learn, you can have a breakthrough in an instant that will make the impossible possible for you. You can have an instant and complete turn for the better in just a moment. It just takes a moment of decision, and that change can occur.
At this point in time, maybe you don't even know how to deal with certain situations in your life. You're not sure. But see, if you put them aside and pretend they're not there, they will not change all by themselves. You'll have to still do something about it. And everybody knows that once you experience bad things, they'll stay with you forever. And you'll remain a victim of what happened to you. See, this is the everybody knows syndrome that we're fighting so hard against. We talk about this extensively in all our timeline therapy trainings. We talk about extensively and actually in all our trainings.
But if you believe, as everybody knows, that it means that there's nothing you can do to change what's happening right now. If you believe that, then all that's left for you is to resign yourself to experiencing sadness and loss and pain that stubbornly doesn't want to go away.
Yeah, and you may be functioning quite well, normally in life, of course, you may be functioning quite well. And on the outside, it may even look like you're dealing with whatever life throws at you marvelously, yeah? And you learn to live with it, whatever it is. You just learn to live with it. But if on the inside, you feel realistically victimized. We heard these words in the training. I am realistically a victim. Right, okay. But if you
what does that mean?
But if you feel there is nothing you can do to change your reality, well, the outside of you will always reflect this lack of power. And you will experience consciously or unconsciously, or both, sadness and anger and other negative emotions like frustration, like rage, like revenge, like desire for revenge, like fear, anxiety, jealousy, resentment, hurt, lots of hurt and pain and guilt, and then you feel like there is no way out for you. What life is that? You can change this. You've heard this so many times. Do it.
As long as you subscribe to what everybody knows, that is a limiting set of beliefs, then you give away your inner power.
Yes, you do.
And if you give away your inner power, you get to a point where you can't see a way out. And you'll repeat those old patterns again and again until one day, maybe you'll learn that you had the power to change everything that you wanted to change all along, and especially right now.
So make that day today. What prevents you? Make that day today. Make that change today.
Beginning of the new year.
Decide what it is that you want to change. Take action, change it, and do it now.
And then you'll notice.
It's never too late.
Then you'll notice the lowest points of 2009 will become the most blessed and cherished moments of 2010.
They will miraculously change for you. And instead of being the lowest, they'll become the greatest teachers, the greatest empowering moments for you. And so you'll change, and all those lessons will become invaluable, powerful learnings for the rest of your prosperous, joyous, happy, healthy, and successful life. We
really received a lot of cards and letters, emails from friends that we've spent years with over the years, and they tell us how their lives changed as a result of taking our trainings and spending time with us.
Yes.
This is where perhaps they were perhaps where you are now.
They were at the beginning.
Oh, I can't do this. I'm limited in some way. And what they did was they changed their thinking. They changed their mind. They changed their lives by changing something inside. And they are today no longer the people they used to be in the past.
They aren't. That's true. That's true. Here is one of the best mottos, if you want, you can take with you during this year. And you heard it before, but it bears repeating. If you will change, everything will change for you. Doesn't it sound like a cliche already? Yeah, God, I heard it. Come on, give me a break with that much change, you know? But there are things you want to change. You've heard
many people, inspiring presenters,
motivational speakers.
You've read about it in books, even in the Beyond Belief DVD.
It's on the web.
It's on the web. But have you really taken this point to heart? When you need to change something, and then you need to do something about it. You need to actually do something about it. The question is, what have you done about what you want? What have you done?
See, you will never know what this means. What we're talking about here. You will never know what this really means until you begin to do it. You begin to change something inside of you. And then the conditions outside you that you don't like anymore will change. And then you will change from a victim who suffers the effects of your environment, of other people doing things to you. And you will change from confusion into understanding. You will change from lack of results and lots of excuses. In that will become energy and strength and positive consequences. And the more you change inside, giving up your old and unuseful habits and unuseful strategy and acquiring new ones, best ones, the more your life will change and your income will change and everything will change for you. That's how it works.
Because conversely, lack of knowledge means lack of power. If you don't know what it is you're doing to yourself, and yes, we know you think your behaviors are conscious. Behaviors are unconscious, actually. But if you don't know how the behaviors you do on your daily routine affect you, if you don't know what it is that you do inside your head consciously and unconsciously, when you think the empowering or disempowering thoughts, then you can't make the changes you need to make so that you can create your life being the way you want it.
Exactly.
Lack of knowledge means lack of power.
Absolutely. Lots of love to all of you watching this video, to your family. Stay happy, healthy, prosperous, and hopefully we'll get to meet you soon.